Hey everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative. This is about take 400 trying to get this video out to you. Hopefully this time we get it. Anyway, what we're going to be doing today is we are working with the mix to mold. I am wanting to see if we can't create some designs within the pieces that we're making. I'm working with coasters, and I have been because I want to use them in a future project. What I'm attempting to do is to get so that we're not getting blobs of color like I have in this piece when we're using the mix to mold. If you like, so the centered colors being like they are in this piece, that's great. Me, I am trying to create something different so that I have more of a pattern in my mix to mold pieces. This is one I did the other day when I was experimenting, and what I did was within my mold I put the bottom of a pop bottle in it, and then once I had mixed up my colors, then I just went and allowed the colorant, the mix to mold, to go down each of those sections. This was sitting in the mold, so I got a bit of a mess here in the center of it, but that's okay because I like what it did around the edges here. And then on this side, this is what the bottom ended up looking. So we have a bit of a design. We've got something to work with. I have another piece I'm going to show you at the end of this video. This is one I have done. I'm doing another video only because the yellow and the white are too close together, and I'm not sure how well my camera is going to pick up the design that's in this when we take it out of the mold. So that's just sitting there. That's working on getting hard. When I started my creative journey, I was doing paint pours, and one of the things people got into doing was using strainers to create a design within their pour that they were doing, and that's what we're going to do today. We are going to have two colors, black and white. Obviously those will stand out and we'll be able to see the design. Hopefully we get it. And the difference being that normally when you were doing your paint pour, this would be sitting right in or on top of whatever you're working with. I'm not going to do that. Once I have my colors mixed up, I am going to hold this up so it's off the mold and can spread itself out better. And hopefully that will work the way I want it to. And the black and white, at least you'll be able to see the design when we take it out of the mold. One of the things I'm going to recommend, because I haven't been doing it and you may want to, is always make sure either you have your mold covered or you set it out of the way. Lately I've been leaving it in the way and getting crumbs of powder and whatnot in it. And then you have to take the time and clean that up. So we're just going to set that off to the side. I have been having some issues with my product in that it's been setting way too fast. In one of my attempts, I took the colorant, and actually it was the Jdiction, and I mixed it into the water and then poured it in, and it started sort of the reaction of this setting too quickly. When I did my yellow and white, I mixed the product up, just plain, nothing in it, and then I put my colorant into it. I am totally open. You have no idea how open I am right now. If you have comments or what you're doing, are you finding the product is setting too quickly, that you're not getting an opportunity to get it poured into your mold because it is setting too quickly? I've watched some other people. I don't know whether they're putting a lot more water in their product than what you're supposed to, whether it's room temperature, because my room is cool. It may be my water isn't, room temperature. It needs to be, or it needs to be a little warmer. I don't know what I am potentially doing incorrectly here. But if you've been working with this and you're getting great results that it's not setting, please comment below and let the rest of us know, or let me know. I would really appreciate that. Just because, as I say, I hate to say I'm getting frustrated, but I am. And if there are tips and tricks out there, that would be wonderful. And if I have to add a little bit extra water, I'm totally cool with that, because I'm totally cool with letting things sit longer. And some of the intricate pieces I've done, I've needed to let them set longer because I don't want them breaking when I take them out of the mold. Now, having said all of that, let's start mixing and see what we can do. I'll get my wet wipe out. And I'm going to recommend, and I still haven't done it myself, is that you have something to put this in once you're done using it so that it doesn't, the product doesn't set in here. I've got a wet wipe here that I've been using, but if I had a container I could just fill with water and put this in, that would be great too. Stir sticks out. And as I say, I may end up adding a little bit more water. When I did the last attempt, I found that I didn't have enough water. And I know some people have thought, said to me, you're adding too much water, and yet in other cases, I feel like I'm not adding enough. And one of the other things I've mentioned before too is I would love for them to be able to create this product so you had like even 15 minutes working time, I think would be incredibly helpful. I know some of the sheetrock product you can get in the hardware store, they have that you can work with it up to 25 minutes. And that's what I'd really like. So you see I'm adding a little bit more water here because I obviously don't have enough because this is still, it's not as flowy as I would like it to. Okay, so that's better. And I know with, I've seen some other videos, and this was a while back, where instead of adding your water to the product, they suggested you added your product to the water, which I've done that too. And a part of me wonders, now that takes a longer period of time to do because you pour it, like you have your water and then you put your product in and sort of let it melt into the water. So that does take longer. And if you were working with like just doing one particular color, that would be great. But I work with more than one. And see, I don't have enough water in this either. So, oh well. Just add a little bit more to it. And then before I add my colorant, I'm going to go back and check the other white one. Okay. So this is almost mixed. And with my yellow, when I was doing my yellow and white one, I put quite a bit of yellow in there, and I can see some of the difference, but it is pretty, yeah. Okay, so I feel like that's starting to set. So I am going to put more water in it, just for sake of getting this video done. And not having to try and do it again, people. I need to laugh at this. And I think I have to move on from this so I can do some other things. Okay, so the black's been mixed up. I'll add it in here. Obviously we're going to add gray, end up with gray. So I put quite a bit of black in there, and I won't even bother doing that. We know this is going to turn gray because the white is so white. Okay, let's put that down for a second. Okay. I'm not going to mix these up anymore because, as I say, I need to get this poured before we start thickening up, and then I'm running into the same problem I have been. This back in place. Over there, that there. So we'll start with the white, and then all we're going to do is pour it in here. And like I can already feel that the white's starting to set up. And I don't, like I say, it may be my room temperature. It can't be because I've got too much water in there. You'd think it would keep it more liquefied, but it's starting to sap. So if someone's adding like warmer water and you find that's helpful, please comment. That would be, like I say, I'm game for getting some ideas given to me. And I'd also like to know if other people are finding the same thing. Like you're doing this and it's just starting to set up a lot quicker than, you know, the 6 to 8 minutes. I know that's not a long time, but anyway, let's just get this poured. Now I can tell that this is setting down in the container because it's not flowing like it should be. See, it's setting. So we're just going to do this. We're going to tap that to the best and see it's setting. Okay. So here we go. That was set. It was starting to set. And so what I did was, one of the ones I'm going to show you, I actually used their colored, and it worked out pretty decently for me. It didn't set as quickly, which is interesting. So, yeah, this stuff is, never mind. So we're just going to bang it out. I can see in the center of this, like I can sort of see, yeah, it's setting. Okay, we're going to just leave this, we're going to leave it and see how it comes out at the end of the day. It's not level, I can tell that by looking at it. And we're just going to have to see how it turns out. But I just wanted to show you the idea that I had using a strainer. So we'll be back. Okay, everyone, we're back to take these pieces out of the molds. I did do a couple of extras. I'm going to show you the one that I had done previously where I had 2/3 of my video that had no sound to them. Anyway, let's go through these. Let's start with this one. This was the black with the white, and obviously as we can see the black turned gray because I didn't get enough into it, and it's not, I don't know that it's pigmented enough or how much I'd have to put in to actually get black. This one had started to set and I sort of bounced it around as best I could. So I'm not really sure what we're going to get with this one, but let's take it out and see. I did do some other little play pieces. Okay, so this is what the bottom of this one looks like. And it's kind of cool because it's got these sort of veins, if you will, in it. But again, this started to set almost straight away. I couldn't control the setting. Again, I don't know if that's because the pigment's reacting somehow with the ceramic resin that we're using. And I'm going to show you one of my other pieces I've done, but I had used the actual colors that Mix-to-Mold has out, and I had a much easier time with it when I had done it. Anyways, that's what our black and white one's looking like because of its setting as quickly as it did. Just give me a moment. I just need to plug in my recorder. I don't want it to lose power. Okay, so this is the yellow and white one. Okay, now I don't know how well that's going to show up for you. It doesn't have much of a design in it, and again, the colors are too close together. I don't know if as this dries we will get to see more of the white, but the yellow definitely is dominating in that one, on that side anyway. And on this side we've got more of the white. There is a bit of a pattern there with the yellow. It's again very hard to see though, because of the colors blending and the yellow not being as deep and defined as I would have liked it to have been. Okay. And the sides aren't quite dry on that, so I'm just going to wipe my hands off a little bit. Okay, this piece I used this strainer here. And I just held it over top of and then poured into the strainer to let it go. And that's how we got this I'll call it a galaxy look. I did drop it a couple of times. You did not see me make this one in particular. I was doing some off-camera work. And the 3 colors I used in the white, so I mixed up the white, and then I added the yellow, the green, and blue in this one. And I just put a few drops of each in it, swirled it around, and then put it into the mold. And the green is obviously the dominating. There's a little bit of yellow up here. So let's see what the rest of this looks like. All right. So the sides are kind of cool. A little bit of definition in the sides, which is kind of cool. And I think once it gets get a glaze on it, and I put glossy on it. I think I'd like to put something on this. As much as this is neat, I just feel like it needs something on it, and maybe putting a simple stencil on it might help. And then that's what we've got for the back. So nothing too dramatic here with this one. This is the one I had made the other day where my video didn't turn out. With this one, I used the mix to mold teal and the mix to mold purple. And then I used a bit of the resincrete pigment in the purple. I just put some drops in, swirled it around, and I poured this. So it's really interesting. This did not set as quickly as what I'm finding these others are doing when I'm mixing in color. And maybe it's because it's already pigmented, and that way when we're adding the water to it, it's not setting as quickly. I don't know if, again, if there's some sort of chemical reaction that's causing this to set as quickly as it is, but that's using the actual colors. And I love how that turned out. And all I had wished is that I had a little bit more of a design here, and then that's what the other side looks like. And this was what I poured initially, and that's how that other side looks. So I really like that. One last piece I did off camera is I wanted to try out this mold. Instead of using either the Jdiction or the mix to mold, I used Stampin Up stamping ink, and this is the rich razzleberry. And I think I've used this in this product in the mix to mold before, or the Jdiction. It's a water-based product. That's why I decided to use it. I mixed up my ceramic resin by mix to mold, and I then added drops of this, swirled it around, and then poured it into the mold. That's all I did. It's colored my mold quite well. Let's see how this turned out. We have sort of any kind of, and I want to be careful of the tip because I don't want to break it. Boy, did that razzleberry ever color my mold. That's too funny. Anyways, I know it'll sink into the silicone, so I'm not overly concerned. This is still dampish, so that's why I'm kind of being careful with it. But I also knew, based on the shape of that I wouldn't have to worry too much about the tips on this. I'm expecting this to either become brighter or not so muted, if you will, once this dries out. This is going to probably take a good day to 2 days for it to dry out, and then we'll see how it played. Like, I mean, the bottom is very, very rich in color. I'm not sure if the rest of this will be that rich, but that's okay. I just wanted to, see what the mold was going to look like, and I wanted to, again, do some more playing. And because I only had the white with the razzleberry in, as soon as I mixed it, I poured it, and I was fine with it. Towards the end, it started to set up a little bit, but not near what I was finding when I was working with 2 different colors and how I was mixing it. That's it. That's what we've got for this. This is the piece. When I had created this was the one that excited me the most, and why I thought the strainers would work really well. I'm going to play some more with, both the mix to mold and the Jdiction to see if I almost wondered if we put something other than water in it, if it would help, you know, keep the timing longer. I don't know. I would appreciate any comments. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you have found this helpful. And we will carry on our YouTube journey, doing some other things coming up in the future. And as I mentioned, some of these pieces that I've made will be in an upcoming video where I will be using my silk screens to put some decoration on that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for being a subscriber. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Have a great day. Bye for now.